Yes, well, we never know that we'll reach this age in the United States of America, where the power, the power of music that these people are going after. Why Elon Musk and his acolytes want to ban Bob Marley's music in America, and why it's not about it. Bob Marley's a Jamaican by birth. His father is an Englishman. Bob Marley never claimed his English heritage as a British citizen, although he was born a British citizen when when Jamaica was being colonized by the British, because Jamaica is a British territory when Bob Marley was born. But he had never claimed his British citizenship, although he had a British passport and stuff like that, because at the time when he was born, Jamaica was a British colony. So, based on, as you know, that those of you who are tuning in, if this is the first time to the channel, please subscribe. Support the channel, because don't watch the accent. We know that some people always believe that if you don't sound like an American, you're not an American. Just remember this. The most important thing is that we're all human beings. America is not heaven. And you see what is happening right now in America and across the world, where there's a chaos. But this chaos did not just started by Donald Trump. But we'll delve into it, because most people do not like to hear the truth. So before we move any further, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Yeah, subscribe, hit the notification button, so that whenever we release a video, you'll be the first one to receive it. We have the same stake as anyone at what is happening right now in this world, and it started not just by Donald Trump, it started before Donald Trump, as we said before. So first they had banned books. Only people who are afraid of knowledge want to keep other people ignorant, and that remind of slavery. When they tell black people, my ancestors, yeah, then tell them to look up in the sky and God will come and save them for 400 years. But where I'm from in Jamaica, that did not work with them. So we had a era named Taki, in which the British people, they make certain that he was never named an era. He's the real era. He's the one that why the United States of America is free to, because the British was fighting wars on two different fronts. And it was black people in Jamaica that caused the British army to deplete. So now, fast forward 2025, Bob Marley music has never been about it. It has never been about division. It's about freedom, truth, and resistance against oppression. So now Elon Musk and his acolytes want it to ban. So why is there a movement led by a figure like Elon Musk and his billionaire allies to suppress an ultimate ban on Bob Marley music in America? How is that going to work? Because I know that they're afraid of the truth. So the answer is simple. Bob Marley music is dangerous to the system because it's awakening the minds. And once they can't control your mind, they can't control you. So with all of these lies and corruption and thieving that's taking place right now in America, that the world is laughing at America to see that an immigrant taking over their country. An immigrant is literally the president of the United States of America, a guy named Elon Musk. Can you believe it? A guy from South Africa. And we're gonna tell you later on what his main reason, his motive for doing it. And even Donald Trump is gonna be shocked, because most of them don't understand what is his real motive. Not because he wants to be a trillionaire, because he say he wants to be the richest, the first trillionaire in the world. So he decided that manipulate numbers to rob from the American people. That's why Donald Trump allowed him into the treasury. Because he understands that if you are a thief, you're going to find other people who are a thief. If you're a liar, you're going to find other people who are liars. That's how criminals, there's no honest criminals. If you know an honest criminal, show me one. So Bob Marley, the power of Bob Marley music, a threat to the elite. Bob Marley was not just a musician, he was a revolutionary. His songs carried messages that were more powerful than any law. more influential than any speech, and more unifying than any political movement. His music speaks of emancipation from mental slavery, teaching the people to think critically, reject oppression, and fight for their dignity. Resisting Babylon, the system of global oppression, encouraging people to seek truth about the economic and political forces that enslave them. Black unity and empowerment, urging black people to stand together, reclaim their history, and reject false narrative pushed by the elite. So you have a black man on the Supreme Court named Clarence Thomas. But in Black Army, I can tell you that this man, where I'm from in Jamaica, they might call him a roast breadfruit. Black. Roast bread uses a fruit. It's like bread when that's how it tastes. It's from Africa. But it's, during the summer, it's popular in Jamaica. And if somebody call it roast breadfruit, that is not a compliment, it's an insult. That means you're black like Clarence Thomas and white inside. And not only that you're a roast breadfruit, that means you're a corrupt person. Because remember, who are the authors of corruption, evil, wickedness in this world. Some people would like to, because you have to understand, when you're speaking the truth, you're not going to have any friends. And that is what this world is lacking, truthfulness. That's why we're at this juncture right now. So justice and righteousness, calling out corrupt governments, racist institutions, and deceptive leaders who manipulate the masses. In a world where the ruling class wants people to be divided, ignorant, and obedient, Bob Marley music is a direct challenge to their control. Why Elon Musk and the billionaire class fear Bob Marley, a man who is dead for more than 43 years, and they are afraid of a dead man. Elon Musk, like many millionaire elites, is not interested in free speech, fairness, or human rights. His real goal is absolute control over global narrative. Musk has positioned himself as the new gatekeeper of information, buying up social media platform and controlling what is seen, heard, and discussed. He claimed to be a champion of free speech, yet his actions contradict this, banning voices that challenges his ideology while promoting extreme right-wing narratives. He has financial and political ties to every institution that he seeks to rewrite history and erase revolutionary figures. So why go after Bob Marley's music? Because Bob Marley represents everything Musk and his billionaire class despise. 1. Bob Marley promotes unity among the oppressed. Because what Bob Marley was teaching the world, that the same white people, poor white people, who hate poor black people, were being oppressed by the same people. That's why they are poor. So he was able to let them think. And I said, the people that you are viewed as your enemy, black people, brown, yellow people, all of you are in the same boat. So what they have been able to do is divide and conquer all of you. And you need to unite. And once you unite, you are stronger than them. That has been happening in America for too long. So now they want to go off the Department of Education. And we even have the vice president, a guy named Vance, want to say that the president don't have to abide to the court. So, and guess what? You have silence in Congress. All of these spineless white men who claim that they are patriots have been bought, sold by Elon Musk and the other billionaires. Can you believe a foreigner, an immigrant, telling born Americans that if they don't obey him, they're going to lose their jobs because he's going to make sure they primary them? When you're not a patriot, that is what happened to you. When you're a patriot, no guy can talk to you in that fashion. You're not owned. Like John McCain, dead and gone. Jeff Flakes, Liz Cheney, and I don't remember the other guy name right now. So you can't, and Mitt Romney. You have to understand that these people, these white people, hungry, and they're hungry at the wrong people. It's the same people that they are supporting they should be angry at. These are the same people that have been holding them for decades, telling them that increasing the minimum wage, they're not going to have any jobs. Because these people, their IQ is like stone. So, as you know, Bob Marley promotes unity. Billionaire cannot control the message from music. Bob Marley exposes global oppression. His music teaches people to see through the lies, that oppression is not just about race, but about a system designed to keep the wealthy in power and the masses in servitude. So that's why they want to go right back to slavery. And guess who them attack first? Black people. So when you hear them attack about DEI, white people benefit more from DEI than black people. White, you understand? But most of the people, them hate people who work in a federal government, because there's a certain level of competency that you have to get a job in the federal. Your GPA have to way up. Dunce people can't work for the federal. I best and the brightest work for the federal government. So although Donald Trump will say that he's a genius, yet to see his GPA from university. Barack Obama, a black man, brighter than him by far. Elon Musk is an immigrant. He's not an American. Can you believe? And he wants to ban Bob Marley music in the United States of America. Bob Marley is a Britain claim Bob Marley, but Bob Marley claim his Jamaican heritage, because I say he was born there. And like Elon Musk, who's from South Africa, that used to oppress black people. He cries when the apartheid system falls. So Bob Marley speaks directly to the people. Unlike controlled media and government propaganda, his words reach hearts and minds in ways that no politician or billionaire can counter. His music is being rediscovered, especially in times of social upheaval. Since the rise of extreme political movement, Bob Marley music has surged in popularity across streaming platforms. More people are listening, questioning, and awakening, and that terrifies the elites. Why they label it hate speech? The whole is trick in the book. When the powerful cannot refute message, they seek to silence it. They cannot argue against Bob Marley's message of truth, so they call it divisive. They cannot disprove his message of justice, so they call it dangerous. This is what they did to Marcus Garvey too. They cannot counter his message of liberation, so they try to link it to hate. But what is hateful about calling for justice? What is hateful about telling people to open their eyes to systemic oppression? The real hatred comes from those who want to keep people enslaved mentally, economically, and spiritually. The ultimate goal, erasing black resistance and cultural icons. Banning Bob Marley music is a part of a larger agenda. It's not just about him. It's about erasing black resistance, silence revolutionary thought, and replace it with controlled commercialized distractions. Look at what has already happened. They ban books that tell you real history of black people in America. They have systematically removed strong black leaders from mainstream platforms. They push entertainment that degrades rather than uplift black culture. Now they are coming for the music, the laugh refuge of free thought, spiritually and resistance. What can be done? Keep playing Bob Marley music. Make it known that his voice will not be silenced. Educate yourself and others. Learn the true history behind these bands, what they mean for our future. Expose the hypocrisy. The same billionaires who claim to support free speech are the ones censoring messages that empower black people. Resist the distractions. The system uses race, war, gender debates, and superficial politics to keep people divided. Don't fall for it. The music will never die. Bob Marley's voice cannot be silenced. His message cannot be erased. His legacy will outlive every billionaire who seeks to destroy it. The question is, will you stand up and fight for the truth? Fight for your rights? Or will you let them rewrite history while you watch silence? As Bob Marley said, one love, one aim, one God, one destiny, and one revolution. We are not living in normal times. As you know that things and time is changing, and it doesn't just start by one person. So this is not just the battle of politics. This is the battle for the mind, for the soul, and for the very essence of truth itself. For far too long, we have been manipulated, used as pawns in a billionaire-funded game, where our struggles are exploited. Our voices are silenced and our culture is hijacked to push agendas that don't serve us. They ban books to erase our history. They ban music to silence our revolution. They weaponize identity politics to keep us divided. They place black faces in high places, not to lead, but to mislead. And now, as the system shifts yet again, they want to use black people as scapegoats for the madness they created. But here's the truth. We are not their puppets. It's time for black people to wake up, break the chains of mental slavery, and reclaim the power that has always belonged to us. Stop falling for distractions. Stop supporting leaders who do not serve our interests. Stop allowing billionaires to dictate our future. The fight for our survival is here. The quest to silence Bob Marley's message will fail. The attempt to erase black consciousness will be their ultimate downfall. Because the truth is like fire. It cannot be contained. And we will rise stronger, louder, and unstoppable. As we said before, and we say again, Elon Musk has successfully manipulated American racists into banning books. Now they are targeting Bob Marley's music. Why? Because they know that music, the message that's in music is powerful. When people listen it can't make you think critically. But some people do not believe. Some people, as they tell you that they believe in free speech, they are liars. The political enslavement of black people in America, exposing the truth. So let's lay it out raw and unfiltered in America. The political class on both sides of the aisles exists to keep black people enslaved, mentally, physically, and economically. They have masked to the heart of deception, using smiling faces, false promises, and token black figures to keep the illusion of progressiveness, while they just keep using black people. So Barack Obama, yes, Barack Obama. If you want truth in it, you have to learn to love the truth. Barack Obama, the first black president. Yet, what did he did for black people? Nothing. Instead, he pushed policies that strengthen the elites, while black communities continue to suffer. Michelle Obama preaching empowerment while rubbing shoulders with billionaires who profit from black oppression. Joe Biden, a man who championed the 1994 crime bill that led to mass incarceration of black men. Yet, black people are told to praise him like a savior. In fact, whether you like Joe Biden or not, the 1994 crime bill, if you're a law-abiding citizen, you will support it. Because black people were ruthless, evil towards themselves, each other. I want God to go send a child, a kid, to kill an ex-black man. And then you want the system to look away. No, we don't support that. If you love yourself as a person, you love another person, irrespective of their race, color, greed. Love is love. It's universal. If you don't see yourself in another person, that means you have no love for yourself. So, I would not condemn Joe Biden for the 1994 crime bill. And that is what they use. That's why we have a Donald Trump. And that is what they use in the 2016 presidential election against Hillary Clinton because of her speech that she had made. But you have to understand that both candidates at the time, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, two corrupt politicians. And James Comey is the one that tilted the election to Donald Trump because he was a Republican. Not knowing that Donald Trump don't care for anyone but himself. And in the long run, he's like a pariah. Nobody wants anything to do with James Comey. Because they are saying that he's the one that tilted the election to Donald Trump, and that's why America is on the decline. And life support and doubt that America can recover. But we tell you the reason why Elon Musk is doing everything what he's doing. So Kamala Harris, she made a career locking up black men and mothers. Yet, we are supposed to celebrate her as historic first. A first for who? Certainly not black liberation. The only thing that we can say, yes, she's the first black vice president that marched with the LGBTQ plus criminal organization. Whether or not you want to believe it, everything that's happening in America has nothing to do with black people. Both sides with billionaires fighting for white supremacy. White supremacy means LGBTQ plus and racism. extreme right wing. Nothing. Both sides have nothing for black people. The Democrats, the same frenzy that people going through right now, and this fear of shock and awe, and people worrying about their jobs, that it was the same thing when Barack Obama was president with the LGBTQ plus agenda. People lost their job, people even went to prison because they refused to marry two men or two women. In it from creation. So what they were doing is social engineering, and that's why we have Donald Trump. We don't know if he's going to pass laws to make it, pass law through the Congress to make marriage between a man and a woman again, and change all of these things that the court not supposed to write law. Court supposed to interpret the law, and what the Supreme Court did, that was what happened. We reach a point where even in America, we see where educated people can't differentiate and tell you what's a woman. Oh, we reach a point there as people. So the oppression started from there and rehash, and then it's black people at the end of it. So now they're going after our era. And what has this Democrat establishment done since? Nothing. They have become the party of delusional and distraction. Instead of addressing black poverty, systemic racism and police brutality, they tell us that a man can be a woman and that men should compete in women's sports. Why? Because white women can't win. White women can't win. So they want to use men to beat the black women them. This is not about fairness or equality. This is about power, about reshaping the world to serve white interests, while black struggles remain ignored. The black sellouts who betray their people, the Al Sharptons and the Jesse Jacksons of the world, these so-called black leaders are nothing but puppets. They shill for the democratic machine while leading black people deeper into mental enslavement. When you ever tell a black man, say if you open up in body and take it like a woman, you're not a good person. You're evil. You have to have a conscience. And that's how the rise of the right, because of what they did when them start to attack people and I tell them to ignore them conscience. You can't tell somebody say poop is sweet when it stink. That's the truth. And the truth was missing from every equation. That's how we are now. All of the lies were there before, but they make it open because they have no shame. And they use people that think that people gravitate on when them see them in awe and them lose them sanity. So instead of fighting for real black liberation, they tell us to embrace every distraction thrown at us, from gender politics to LGBTQ plus narratives. Them tell us you can't be anything. Them did all in a passport, them want to change from male to female and how you identify and all kind of thing, even in a school email. You can be there, were, and all kind of madness. Social engineering. Oh, we reach a point there. That's not identity politics, that's a madness. And that's why most of the Spanish people them vote for Donald Trump. Because they must say, no, we can't, this madness. It's a mental enslavement, social engineering. Who's there to tell the Democrats them for these things? Not only evil, but it's lies. But they don't care. Because them feasting them a God, because money. So that's why we're at this now, it's just money. Instead of demanding economic empowerment, they tell us to march, kneel and beg. Begging has never freed anyone. Never. Instead of challenging the billionaire class, they keep black people voting for a party that only protect the rich and powerful. They have abandoned black culture and now represent LGBTQ plus culture and everything that is ungodly. We are the black leaders fighting for the rights of black families, black children, black business and black ownership. And if you dare to speak against this madness, economic terrorism, so it don't matter which side the black man in America turn, he might get joke. You call it in a mind, you get, needles is gonna stick you. So you can't, no comfort for you. You're in the middle. If you turn left, you get stick by the needles, because you have to tell them that a man can be a woman. And that's not factual. Because you have a chromosome, them XY and the XX. You can't change that. All that madness there. The Republican Party, the Jim Crow Democrats in disguise. Some ignorant folks, and even immigrants love the part that the Republicans free the slaves. But wake up and educate yourself. The Republicans of 2025 are the Democrats of the 1960s. The ones who oppose black rights, freedom and equality under the Constitution. They lynch, kill, bomb and terrorize black people with the support of local, state and federal governments. That's why them love to hide things, because the amount of atrocity with them do. When you talk about barbaric and terroristic people, right, you say the black people go through hell in America. So then, run the Ku Klux Klan, enforce segregation and wrote the Jim Crow laws. And now, who's their leader? Donald Trump, the same man who incited the riot of the low IQ white supremacists to storm the Capitol while Republican politicians fled like cowards. They haven't changed. They still serve white billionaires, white supremacy and the oppression of black people. Black people are leaderless because our leaders serve the oppressors. The sad truth, black people have no real leaders in America. The so-called black political voices do not represent us, our values or our culture. And some of the black people, them eat half your head to tell them the truth. And all black people don't like to hear the truth. We can't tell you that. And all black people don't like, if you lie to them religiously, they will love you. If you tell them that they need for, the black communities, that they need to read, see themselves in another person, stop the killing of each other, and don't wait until police dead to say Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter all the time. But yet, the same Democrats, them encourage our black youths them to kill each other. Them not tell them say it wrong. And tell the parents them say you have to teach the children them love from home. Most black children and black youths are on love. Hand love by them parents. Because most of the time it's single parents, the father, worthless, and the mother is the one who's the mother and father. And she don't even care. Wrong is right and right is double right, because that's a culture. And the police, based on what's happened, the systemic oppression, the police is not only seen as the enemy, but is the enemy of the people. How are you going to build a trust with people when a man say a police shoot a black man who have on just him underwear and you shoot him and say him a threat to you, as if him have supernatural powers? The sad truth, black people have no real leaders. They represent money, they represent power, and they represent the LGBTQ plus agenda, which nothing but another tool to keep black people distracted, divided and spiritually broken. God is love. LGBTQ plus and racism are built on the deception, confusion and oppression. Wherever black people go, we are met with hostility. We are not given comfortable seats at the table. We are given needles in the chairs. We are told to embrace everything but ourselves, our history and our culture. The silences of Bob Marley, but they will fail. And now, they are trying to silence Bob Marley. Why? Because his music is waking up a new generation. His lyrics remind us that we must emancipate ourselves from mental slavery. We must resist oppression in all forms, and we must fight for freedom, justice and righteousness. Read. Tell it your children them for read. Black, white, yellow and grey. Knowledge is power. All the books that them ban, buy them. Keep them in your house. Let your children have reading session with them. Black, white, yellow and green. We know the Hispanic people them have low self-esteem. Them beliefs of them white, in which 3 people from Europe and 4 are labeled as black people. Italian, that are Ron DeSantis. But I'm not even want to believe it, the governor of Florida. Italians, Irish, Italian, and Spanish. They are labeled as black people. It's 1962 that the Jews, Italians, and the Irish got their white papers. The reason why they didn't give the Hispanic because blacks were more concentrated in Spain. for 700 years. So they're lobbying to get the white papers. They lose, so they are the ones that out there calling themselves white Hispanic. That is like calling rain wet rain. So Bob Marley music terrify them. They kill him, but his spirit, like the Christ, cannot be erased. We must resist oppression in all forms. We must fight for freedom, justice, and righteousness. The reality of voting in America, the system is rigged. When the people vote in America, they are not voting for justice or progress. They are voting for policies designed by the rich for the rich. Whether it's madness from the Democrats who sell out black communities in exchange for billionaire endorsements, and for the LGBTQ plus madness where them tell black people say man can be woman, but a white woman can't be black. Seeing black people we see that, you know. Clyburn and them people they say the black woman, the white woman, she can't be black. So you see everything is tiered against black people. Black people are you can't be anything but black. So she, as a white woman, because she identifies as black, she's a liar. But yet a man will identify himself as a woman, him honest. Make that make sense. That's why they lose the election. Nobody now tell them that. That are the truth. The two things why me attack as an immigrant, two things why the Democrats lose the election. The LGBTQ plus madness, them oppress black people over the world by when them LGBTQ plus them fly them flag which go against the United Nations Charter in other people's country, in them face. You know, so the same people them have them family where live in America, where a citizen where vote. So when you do them things that disrespect people, you can't expect people to come to you. That's why even 80% of the Jamaican people them vote for Donald Trump. 80%. Kamala Harris is Jamaican, her father Jamaican. But the reason why they voted against her is because of that. That is one of the reasons why they voted against Kamala Harris and in the election, because of the imposition and oppression of people in Jamaica with this LGBTQ plus thing. Jamaican people been through hell when it comes on to this kind of behavior. During slavery, most black people who don't read, they won't know this. They use it as a weapon against black or ancestors, called butt-whacking. Spread the eagle, the black men, this bandingos, the one that they believe that there's a threat on the plantation, and savagely a white man just take out him willy and insert it in a black man rectum, saka him, and him just start like syrup, red fluid, mash him up, and then all of the other slave them on the plantation lose respect for him, because when you rape a man, you demean him, and that is what they use and terrorize black people. Then the same people them turn on and I tell black people if they accept this. This is like telling the Jews them, so if they accept the Nazis, or tell African American if they accept the Ku Klux Klan, we terrorize them and murder and lynch them. Make that make sense? You can't tell lies. I expect the other side are going to tell truth. They are going to lie to you. A lie, and then they're going to say the other one a liar when you a lie to. And you're like even wickeder too. To the time. So either way, racism 101 from the Republicans who want to turn back the clock back to Jim Crow. Either way, black people lose. The time for change is now. Black people must wake up. Stop voting blindly for politicians who do not serve you. Stop letting so-called black leaders dictate what you should believe. If you don't read, when somebody will tell you say a man can be a woman, and you just blindly go with it, them say you're a dummy. Them love you when you're dumb or when you're ignorant. That's why I could not even go into politics and promote such thing, because that is madness. They teach us from we're young, like poles repel and unlike poles attract. Since when like pole attracts, you have to go against the laws of science, nature, and godliness. But they are the one that cancel people first. Donald Trump, whether or not you want to believe it, Donald Trump is the one that silenced them right now. But executive order Unless Donald Trump are going to become, the Republican are become a dictatorship and never hand it over back. Because all of these executive order eventually, if things change, they might just erase again with another executive order. So they have to this pass law. Stop falling for distraction meant to divide us. It's time to stand up, take control of our destiny, and fight for real black empowerment. Fight for real America. Because if we don't, who will? So you see them want to take away Bob Marley, our cultural icon, the man that tell us about one love, one art. Let's get together and feel alright. Them say no. Marcus Garvey, you know, say them hate all black people who are cultural icon. Marcus Garvey is one of them. Marcus Garvey is the one that paved the way for all black people in this world. And we serve a beautiful day. And thanks for tuning to the African Jamaican YouTube channel. One love. Peace.